This one is really interesting. One of the most original uses of the special map07 triggers that I've ever seen. So as you may or may not know, map7 in Doom 2 had these cage to arch spells. They'll be important later. There's special triggers when all the Mancubuses die and when all the Arachnotrons die that are present just in map7. You can do various things with it. In the original map7, you just had to kill all of them in succession to end the map. But here, what this does is you've got that Mancubus in the center there. If he dies at any point, all of those arch files from the cages earlier warp into your space, and it is completely impossible to survive. So you basically just aren't allowed to let the Mancubus die. It's an interesting thing, because Mancubuses, you know, they start infighting a lot. It's cool. The first little bit so far has been kind of straightforward, killing a bunch of former humans. If you take proper advantage of the canyons, it's pretty easy. This is kind of obnoxious, though, especially how that guy didn't die somehow. But it doesn't matter because I got health back there. So this part here, I think, is the most interesting phase of the map. The Mancubus has been raised as well on a little elevator out there to in the center. And so you've got to make your way up through this semicircular ridge around the pit in the middle. There's various enemies, but the big problem is presented by the Cacodemons, which I haven't really been focusing on yet. If you're not careful, it's very easy for a couple of them to get mad at the Mancubus, and they can kill him surprisingly fast. So a lot of it is, really in the end the solution is largely to keep yourself undercover from the Mac so he never shoots at you, or does so as little as possible. So there's just, there's a lot of constraints going on. And I eventually figured out this technique of sort of going out to the corner, starting everything, and then running back, and that herds the Cacos into a fairly manageable formation. The fight can go a lot of ways, and most of them are a lot more difficult than that looked. Shooting at imps there too. I mean, that's probably fine. Imps are still weak. A lot of it really is just trying to keep the Mancubus from shooting. Now I'm just collecting all the goodies before moving on to the next step. There's only one more hard part in the map after this. And it's kind of obnoxious, actually. I'm not really sure what the point of this little teleport ambush even is, to be honest. I guess if you're trying to rush, it would shut you down and get you caught on the guys behind you. I don't know. Anyway, this one's obnoxious. You're really, it works in a lot of these assholes, and you're really pretty pegged in without, cover that you can simultaneously take from both directions. You can just try to push through, but it's a gamble, and the more you don't just stay in this alcove but head out, the more likely it is that the Mancubus will take a shot at you and get Arachnotrons mad at him, and they will kill him very fast if they get mad. So it's just a ticklish situation. I feel like the D-legged brains have too much health. Like, they should reliably die to a super shotgun blast. That's how I feel. Anyway, At this point, the level's honestly pretty much over. You flip this switch, which exterminates all the arch files back there, so now you can kill the Mancubus if you want. There's no compelling need to. But, you know, just for being an asshole. And then it's got this little finale arena with, like, some cool flashing lights, specters, a cyber demon wandering around, and a couple of revenants. But it's like, there's really, like, there's enough plasma ammo in here that you can fairly easily kill everything, and kill the cyber demon too. You've got the ammo to do it with just a few super shotgun shots. But it's like, why would you? It's not very fun to kill those guys on their own, and it doesn't make you. They're kind of a half-baked end to a really unhalf-baked level.